See, treating arrhythmia is related to action potentials of heart. We have seen in cardiac electrophysiology how the action potential changes, what are the different phases are. Let us have a brief look about the generation of action potential, because all the drugs will be acting on that generation of action potential. Now, so this is what we have seen. During cardiac action potential, this is what happens. The resting membrane potential is minus 90 millivolts in cardiac. When sodium channel opens, suddenly the potential rises. This is zero phase. What happens in zero phase? Sodium entry occurs. Sodium gets inside the cell. Sodium entry occurs. Because of that, potential rises. Now, at this junction, sodium channel closes, but potassium channel is open. Because potassium channel is open, potassium will be going out of the cell. Potassium leak occurs, and because positive potential is going out, the potential falls. This phase is phase 1. In phase 2, what happens is calcium channels opens. So here what happens is calcium will be coming inside the cell, but potassium is still going outside the cell. Hence, you have a kind of plateau phase. The potential will not change much. After that, you have a third phase. At this phase, again potassium channels are open. They will be going out of the cell. Because a positive ion is going out, the potential falls down. Now at this final phase, the fourth phase is because of sodium potassium pump. Sodium potassium pump will take care of this resting membrane potential phase. This is what is brief action potential of cardiac cells. Now, why this change in rhythm is occurring? It is because of changes in this ionic movement. When ionic movement is deferred, when they are not in a coordinated fashion, then it results in error in rhythm. That is what becomes arrhythmia. So because there is a change in ionic environment causes arrhythmia, the treatment is targeted towards this ionic channels. You have four, see, according to Singh von William, there is a classification. According to that classification, we have four major classes of drugs. Class 1, the first class is related to sodium channel blockers. Sodium channel blockers. So the job of this drug is they will block sodium channel and they will change this generation of this depolarization. Whereas class 2 related to beta blockers. Beta blockers. If you remember, the job of beta receptor is increase force of contraction, increase in heart rate. Increase in heart rate is what causes tachyarrhythmia. So you block the receptors, you will be able to treat arrhythmia. Now, class 3 is related to the potassium channels. Potassium channel blockers. Class 3. Whereas class 4 related to calcium channel blockers. Calcium channel blockers. So briefly, this is what is there. See, you're targeting sodium, potassium, calcium, all of them you're targeting ions. Beta blockers also, what happens with the activation of beta receptors on the heart? Beta receptors belong to GS type of G protein coupled receptor. The activation results in increased amount of adenylate cyclase, which will activate cyclic AMP. Cyclic AMP activates protein kinase A. Protein kinase increases the entry of calcium into the cardiac cell. So indirectly, they are also acting on calcium ions. So all the agents are targeting these ions because this ionic differences is what causes arrhythmia. Now let us see each and every class in detail. Now, first, let us see about sodium channel blockers. Now see, understand this thing. Sodium channels are present everywhere. Sodium channels are present in neurons. Sodium channels are present in cardiac tissue. Sodium channel is also present in renal tubule, nephron. Now, in the neurons, when you block sodium channel, the action potential generation is inhibited, hence they act as anesthetic agents. All the local anesthetics and general anesthetics, main mechanism of action is blocking sodium channels in the CNS, central nervous system. Now, whereas in cardiac system, when you block sodium channels, they are used to treat arrhythmia. In renal tubule, when you block sodium channel, what happens? Sodium reabsorption will not occur. Sodium goes out of the body. That results in diuretic action. So every part you have different kind of sodium channels. Now, getting into sodium channel blockers which are acting on the heart. Now, in this case, you have three classes are there. 1A. Now, the classes are because of the ability to bind sodium channel as well as potassium channel. Now, in this 1A class, you have quinidine, procainamide. These are important drugs. Disopyramide also there, but these two are important drugs. Now, what do? They change the generation of action potential. As the name indicates, they are sodium channel blockers. When sodium channel opening occurs at this zero phase, when you block this channel, what happens? The rise of potential will be delayed. How it appears is, look at this. If this is a normal action potential, by using quinidine and procainamide, what happens is the signal will be delayed, and then this is what happens. The effect of these drugs is this one. See what has happened. The sodium channel is blocked, so rise of potential is delayed. Along with that, the total length of action potential duration is also increased. The reason is these drugs has got they inhibit sodium channel and potassium channel. Look at this. The repolarization is because of opening of potassium channel. Because they are blocking it, what has happened? It is getting delayed. So total duration of action potential is increased. So they again one more thing is there with sodium channel blockers. These drugs are known as use dependent blockers. That means if sodium channel is continuously opening and closing, that is increase in use of sodium channel. So these drugs will selectively go and bind with the channel which is continuously under use. This is called as use dependency. I'll repeat this again. When sodium channels are continuously closing and opening, that means your body is using sodium channels. These drugs are use dependent, means the more a channel is getting used, the drugs will closely go and bind with that channel. The first year class, quinidine, procainamide, understand this one, you will understand everything. Because they are blocking sodium channels. This rise of potential is because of sodium entry. You're blocking it, so it is delayed. Potassium channel is also blocked, hence it is not direct repolarization is increased. Now, quinidine has got so many side effects of it. Quinidine is from cinchona tree. From cinchona, we have a lot of alkaloids of it. Quinine, quinidine, cinchonine, and all of them. Quinine acts as anti-malarial drug. Quinidine has got selectivity towards cardiac muscle. Hence, it is acting as antiarrhythmic. Because they are coming from cinchona alkaloids, there are certain adverse effects. All cinchona alkaloids will show common set of adverse effects. They are known as synchronism because they are coming from cinchona bark. Synchronism indicates tinnitus, vertigo, deafness, headache, visual disturbance, and mental disturbance. Let us understand one by one. Tinnitus means ringing bells in ears. When someone gets hit at the ear, suddenly we hear a kind of ringing sound. That is called as tinnitus. Tinnitus, ringing bells in ears. Vertigo means syncope, falling down or getting fainted. So tinnitus, vertigo, deafness, unable to hear. And then visual disturbance, mental disturbance, and headache will be there because of quinidine. Because of all these effects, quinidine should not be used continuously. It also causes hypotension and hypoglycemic actions. So quinidine has got a flurry of adverse effects. So the use is completely depend on the condition. One more general rule. See, in pharmacology, we have two diseases there, like arrhythmia and epilepsy. Both of them, they are serious diseases, and a serious care should be given. Arrhythmia, epilepsy. The drugs which are used to treat these diseases are anti-arrhythmic agents, anti-epileptic agents. The problem with all anti-arrhythmic agents is all of them has got a property to cause arrhythmia. Understand? All anti-arrhythmic drugs can cause arrhythmia too. Similarly, anti-epileptic, all anti-epileptic agents can cause epilepsy. So, depending upon the problem, the drug has to be given. You need to identify what is the problem, then that selective drug has to be given. If you have a different problem, you are doing a different drug, that may result in arrhythmia. So, care should be taken with this drug. Now, procainamide, procaine is a local anesthetic. I told you local anesthetics, the mechanism of action is sodium channel blocker. Procainamide, an amide derivative, this is also sodium channel blockers. Procaine selectivity is towards neurons. Procainamide selectivity is towards cardiac tissue. So this is about 1 year group. This is how they show their action. Now let us see about 1B group. See, the first group belongs to sodium channels. In that first group, you have 3 classes are there, depending upon the how they change this action potential. 1A, this is what happens. Sodium channel is blocked, potassium channel is also blocked. Now the next one is 1B. Now in 1B, you have lidocaine, mexiletine. Now again, lidocaine, procaine, procainamide, all of them are local anesthetics. See, they have dual actions because their job is to block sodium channels. When they block in CNS, they become local anesthetics. When they block in cardiac tissue, they become antiarrhythmic. Now let us see what happens with this one. The normal action potential curve is this one, right? By using lidocaine and mexiletine, what happens is this is delayed, but this is what happens. See what has happened. The action potential duration is reduced. See, sodium entry is delayed because they're blocking sodium channels, but they cause potassium channel opening. What is happening at this phase? When the channel is opened, potassium goes up, potential immediately falls down. In this case, 1 year class, the potassium channels are blocked. Because they are blocked, there is a delay. In this case, potassium channels are open. So this group, they block sodium channel, but they open potassium channel. The action potential duration is decreased. See, depending upon the existing condition, the choice of drugs will be there. So 1B, lidocaine, mexiletine. This 1B group, especially, these are used to treat ventricular arrhythmias. Ventricular arrhythmias. What happens in arrhythmia? Most of the time, the problem is with tachyarrhythmia. That means increase in beats. The increase in beats, when you block sodium, it is delayed. The beats will get delayed. That is how it is treated. Again, the ECG is taken depending upon the problem. A particular class of the drug is used. It all comes with experience. The doctors will be continuously looking about the ECG, then decide what kind of drug is best to use. Now, this is about 1B. Now, the last one, 1C. Now, in this class, you have 2 drugs there. Propafenone, flecainide. Propafenone, flecainide, encainide, all class of drugs are there. Now, what happens with this one is, if this is the depolarization curve, now this class, they just block sodium channel. There is no effect on potassium channel. So what happens with this is, a delayed sodium channel opening will be there. So they don't have any effect on potassium channel, so you cannot see that, but only this thing happens. A delayed sodium channel opening is there. So they delays a contraction generation. So tachycardia can be treated. Drugs are propafenone. So you need to understand these things. If you understand how the action potential is changing, then you will understand how the actions will be. 1 year group, quinidine, procainamide will do this. Whereas 1B group, lidocaine, mexiletine will do this. 1C group, propafenone, flecainide will do this thing. All of them, you can see there is a delay in generation of action potential. Why? Action potential is generated with sodium channel opening and sodium entry. These drugs are sodium channel blockers. They are blocking the sodium entry into the cell. So there is a delay in action potential. So this is about first group, sodium channel blockers.